Hello and welcome to this Long Island weather alert. We have some windy conditions moving in after a pretty nice day here on Long Island. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too hot. It was a nice summer-like day actually. For the most part, we had a nice blue sky by the afternoon. After some clouds, we had some blue sky, uh, and got out and walked around. Of course, on the South Shore, it was most pleasant, where the sea breeze was at its best. We were only in the low 70s. Nice blue sky, looking at the trees, really pretty. And then toward the evening, we started seeing these clouds come in. This was a sign of this front coming through. I call it a cold front is kind of a misnomer because if anything, it got warmer as this front came through. And you can see here, and it also got hazier too. You're going to get the haze in the sky here. The sun through some of these stratocumulus clouds, whatever. And then toward the evening, it looked like it got a little bit less hazy. And we had some pretty, again, stratocumulus clouds in the sky here, catching the sun as it was going down, especially this one right here. Really pretty. But quite a tale of two different tales. If you were on Long Island in the afternoon, this is what you at, 73 degrees, 60. This was at 425, 63 was the dew point. Wind direction not available, but I'm pretty sure it's from the south. And then you look at Miller Air Park, Islip only got up to 75, but if you look at Miller Air Park and the Pine Barrens west of Toms River, still 84 with no sea breeze. West winds, I don't know why the wind is saying NA, but 88 was the high there. So a big difference depending on where you were. But now we have this warm wind coming in. I was walking back tonight, the misfortune of being on a very crowded N15 coming back from Rockville Center because bus force didn't show up. I think it was missing, and I got out and walked through Garden City, and all of a sudden this wind just started picking up. 74 is what it is in the alley, and it felt like I was in like a dust storm of pollen tonight. So right around, I would say 9:30, 9:45. Not 9:20 ish. We had, I think, an outflow boundary coming. So you're looking at the satellite here or something. I don't know. There were a couple of showers that popped up to our north, and this boundary came through. That I think maybe this is it right here, from these thunderstorms that were up to the north, and it seemed like it kicked up a lot of pollen, and I'm hot too on top of it. So yeah. So the alley isn't too much warmer than surrounding areas. 72 at Islip with the wind still saying NA. I don't know why the wind directions now are not working on when you look at that, but you see what's happened here at Islip. So you see during the day here, we had temperatures in the only in the 70s today. We started off with clouds, and then we went mostly sunny by the afternoon. Only in the mid 70s, southwest wind, and it was nice and cool. It was actually cooling down to this even as of 9:40 out there. I guess the wind hadn't occurred yet until later. But you see what happened once the wind went to the northwest. The temperature shot up by quite a lot, and to us, it's almost like a warm front coming through. And the dew points have dropped. We had a wind gust, 30 miles an hour, 29 miles an hour, so pretty windy out there. Now, if you look at Farmingdale, same deal, southwest wind until around 9:50 over there, and then it went to northwest. But throughout the day there, highs only in the 70s, not too bad at all. But I'll tell you, it's JFK up to 75 right now after hitting 81, and the northwest wind is gusting to 28 miles an hour over there. Looks like we have some missing data here again here, but you'll see what happened again this evening when that wind shift occurred. The temperatures actually went up with the wind shift for a little bit, so very interesting to see that. Meanwhile, if you were well inland in a place like Miller Air Park and Toms River, you were dealing with the heat, and you got up to 88. Now it's 72 over there. So, but during the day, it was in the mid to upper 80s. With west winds, you'll see there was no sea breeze. Pretty much a southwest wind, I guess, but it was a warm wind off the land and versus off the ocean for us, and they got into the mid to upper 80s over there. So very, very hot, obviously, with that. But yeah, some pretty strong wind gusts with this coming through here. 35 mile an hour wind gusts at Sandy Hook. So and it's just kicking up a lot of pollen. It's absolutely miserable to walk around outside right now. Looks like now if you were on Fair Harbor, you only got up to 69. It's 68 there, but I bet the temperature bumped up. Oh yeah, it sure did. So here's the bump up once the wind shifted again. That was a little after 10 o'clock, so it takes a little while to push that sea breeze away. But that's exactly what happened. Really interesting. So we'll go and we'll look at the high temperatures today. You'll see, and of course it's warm in here. I got a bunch of fans going again. You might hear them. I do apologize for that. But I'm hot, especially after having to walk through in that almost like it wasn't like a blast furnace, but it was like being blasted with warm, dusty, pollen-laden air, and I was sneezing like crazy tonight. So if you're out in it, you understand. And honestly, but you can see highs across Long Island. We're generally in the mid-70s. Now the map doesn't want to work. Like, come on. There it is. So, uppers, yeah, I don't know what's going on. You can see here on Long Island, temperatures mid-70s, but if you're in the middle of the island, you had, or the North Shore, you had 80 to low 80s. And then for Jersey, upper 80s. So very hot, even right along the water. No sea breeze for them at all whatsoever. And in the city, you got into the mid-80s. Obviously, so 84 at LaGuardia, Central Park got up to 81, even 81 at JFK. So the cooler further east. That's where it was better, and it was pretty pleasant here on Long Island, pretty pleasant. We'll just go and look at today at the radar for a moment. Show you that we do have some thunderstorms up in Connecticut, a few little showers. They're off to the north, but we're not really seeing much of anything, which is almost would have rather had it rain because it just kicked up a bunch of pollen. There is a special weather statement that's gone now, so we don't see the special weather statement. That's kind of interesting that there was a special weather statement, and now it's gone. All these malfunctions courtesy of you-know-who. Islip had a high of 75. That's still 6 degrees above normal. The low is 61, 10 degrees above normal. And it's still 8 degrees above normal for the day. If we look at Central Park, 81 was a high of 80, 8 degrees above normal. And then Newark, probably the biggest anomaly there. High of 87, which is a full 14 degrees above normal. So, yeah, well above normal. Very warm. But it definitely will be turning cooler with this front coming through. And again, you have this, you can see this low pressure area, the cyclonic flow that's coming in. So let me just make this a little bit larger so you see what we got. So we got this cyclonic flow over here. That's going to bring us a much cooler day, but there will be some clouds. What's all that? It looks like smoke over Mexico. But there will be some clouds tomorrow. You see the clouds with this feature here. Looking at this other radar here, and again, you can see there were some storms up in Connecticut, it looks like. Looks like Connecticut got into some thunderstorm activity. But we didn't see any of that here. So the main deal... I'm lowering this fan a little bit, but the main deal is going to be the wind for tonight and tomorrow. And the question is, will we need a wind advisory because of that? And these isobars look pretty tight. And that low is still going to keep the wind around on Monday, too. Wind, and then Tuesday, maybe the wind is going to start getting a little bit better. And then we'll have to watch for our next weather system, obviously, Wednesday. Let's look at the HRRR here. 0Z run of the HRRR, and take a look at tomorrow. And you'll see the... tomorrow we might see an isolated shower, perhaps, in the early evening. Just very isolated. Due to this instability because of the cyclonic flow that we're in. You can see that low right over there. So to say tomorrow is it'll be a decent day for the most part, but it actually won't be as sunny as today. So today actually turned out to be the nicer day. Tomorrow is going to feature more in the way of clouds. If we just take a sounding, you'll see that we're going to have, those lines are pretty close together. So it's going to be plenty of clouds around, I think, for tomorrow. And your dew points and wind flow, obviously that has changed. Now we have the drier air working in. Dew points are dropping, and they'll be around 50. So we have low humidity tomorrow, but still pretty breezy westerly wind. The dew points will be in the mid-50s. And then as we get into Monday, that's when we'll start seeing a better air mass, I think, build in. Be a little bit of a lag, but Monday we'll have much lower, even lower dew points and cooler temperatures with more of the northwest wind. Tomorrow we get more of the west wind, which probably won't be all that cool. Tonight, temperatures probably will be very slow to drop. Maybe by morning we'll see upper 50s. But tomorrow, I still think we're going to get into the... I think this might be underestimating. I think we'll get in the low, maybe even some mid-70s, even though we'll have plenty of clouds, just because there's going to be a lag before the cooler air comes in. It was a very diffuse front, which is why we didn't see much thunderstorm activity. It's tomorrow night that we'll start seeing those temperatures drop into the upper 40s and low 50s, and be able to turn off your air conditioner. Most of you will, but not me, because I live in a furnace hot alley. The alley is still going to be warm, and get the laundry exhaust and all that other stuff. So, and there's pollen out there too. So, I mean, that's the thing. That pollen is going to get really bad the next couple of days. So, see if, as we get into Monday, we'll still see temperatures that will be upper 60s. So, still won't be the really cold air kind of stays to the north for the most part, and there will be more sunshine on that day too, as well. And then when we go beyond that, just go to the I'll just go to the GFS already. Go beyond that, you'll see that it's still remaining cool and dry. And then Tuesday, we'll have one more nice day before we have to talk about the next system moving in that will bring us rain Wednesday. So after this video, the next weather video will be probably Tuesday night. All right, so let's look at the skies. Here's the RGM. All right, so you'll see tomorrow. May start off with sun, but then the clouds build, and there'll be stratocumulus. Probably a little less off to the south, probably, but there'll still be a decent amount, I think, even over Jersey for the most part. I think there'll be partly sunny conditions in the afternoon, partly sunny to mostly cloudy by the afternoon with that cyclonic flow. It is Monday that we'll see mostly sunny skies and that dry air coming in. And then as we get into Tuesday, we got a squeeze play going on. So we got this, I think we'll still have mostly sunny skies. There may be some cirrus, but we have this low that's kind of stuck over here that's kind of backing up. And then you got another low over here. We got a little banana high that's going to keep us, I think, mostly clear. Well, these clouds from the east might try to come in toward the end of the day. We'll have to see what happens. But I still think you'll have sunshine on Tuesday. And then after that, that's when it starts going downhill, unfortunately, for the most part. But we'll have pleasant, cool nights and nice weather for at least Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow, again, it's cloudy, and it'll also be more windy. And we have to watch the threat for the isolated shower or two. Let's look at this as well. I'm just kind of curious if the NAM is a little more active, but not really. But there could be something. HDRPS tomorrow. There could be some instability. Most likely it's going to be to the north, but it's going to be a decent amount of clouds tomorrow. So let's shift it over to Ventus Sky and talk about the wind situation. Obviously, the winds have picked up a little more than... let's just go to wind gusts here. Let's see if we show some wind gusts here. The winds have definitely picked up more than it was pretty windy out there when I was walking. It's pretty windy. So let's see. Those windy conditions are going to continue through the night. And this is also going to cause the pollen also to kick up a lot. Tomorrow, yeah, it's got... I mean, I don't think we'll need a wind advisory, but it definitely will be breezy. Fortunately, we've gotten a decent amount of rain, so I don't think we'll have to worry about wildfire situation, but you never know. Things do dry out quick sometimes. And you can see their wind gusts up to 35, especially toward later in the evening. We got that west wind going now. As we get into Monday, we're still dealing with breezy conditions here. So it's still going to be breezy, but it's going to be more of a northwest breeze, cooler wind direction. And as we get into Tuesday, that's when we finally see lighter winds. Still mainly from the north, though. So let's go and look at windy.com. And this is the European model, so we'll go and we'll look at this and see how this has the winds. The winds are definitely worse than this is showing. So, but you can see tomorrow they really do pick up quite a bit, actually. So, gusts into the mid-30s. So yeah, it'll be a windy day tomorrow, and the pollen's going to be bad. And maybe, even though we've had a decent amount of rain, Could be an elevated wildfire risk out there. Maybe it's amazing how fast things can dry out. And Monday we're still dealing with the breeze. Not as a little bit less in a cooler direction, but still a breeze. So we have to watch out. I think it's not until Tuesday that we finally start to really back off the wind. There's still wind out here though. So yeah, we still got wind. So don't expect it to be calm out. There's going to be a breeze out there, but it'll feel good. But you just gotta be mindful that it is going to dry things out, I guess. So let's just take a look at the smoke models, see if we're going to have to deal with any smoke at all. It definitely seemed like there's some out tonight, almost. But I don't see any smoke issues for the... yeah, I don't really see anything. So I think we'll be good with that. Yeah, this is going to be a nice stretch of weather to enjoy. But tomorrow is probably not going to be as nice as today because there will be more clouds. It will be windier. And that's going to kick up the pollen too as well. So that's going to be an issue as well. Let me just hit AQI, for instance. AQI. Let's just see what we got out there. It's saying good. I don't know. It's mostly pollen in the air, I think, that's going on. It's being kicked up. It seems like I'm better now that I got inside, but I had watery eyes and sneezing and everything. Let's just do an allergy forecast and see. I never even looked at this. I don't know if we have an allergy or we have a moderate, it's saying here on the AccuWeather. So, yeah, it's up there. This is the tree pollen. So, yeah, it's up there. It's actually going to high. So, you're going to have a lot of pollen in the air. That's for sure. So, if you've got allergies, just keep that in mind. Anyway, I'll lastly look at Wonder Map for a minute. I'm just kind of curious about this. Let's see if there's no sea breeze. The sea breeze has been pushed away, I think. But let's take a look and show you what's happened here. So we'll just look at Wantaw, show you what's happened when this front came through. It just, like I said, we were better off without this front coming through because it was cooler. And then, let's see, right around 9 o'clock, the temperature just shot up. Look at that. It was going down, and then, yep. And look at the pressure. The wind. Look at the wind kick up when that happened too. You can see, so you clearly see the wind shift on this graph here. If you're in Rockville Center, let's see what we got here. A similar deal probably happened. Yep, you can see when that temperature bumped up right around 9. Though the winds did shift to the west a little earlier over there, I think. At least it seemed like they did. I have to go back to the weather and hatchets. It seemed like further west the winds shifted off to the west a little earlier. Let me just look at JFK again, and we'll wrap this up. There's also a small craft advisory too. All right. Station plot of JFK. Let's see. Came through there around 9:40. So it went west-southwest. It went from southwest to west-southwest. Yeah, it was more of a south wind, and then it went west-southwest around the early evening hours if you were in Nassau. And then it went northwest. Now you can see how the winds have really picked up here. There was a gust of 39. That's impressive. 30, yeah, close to 40 miles an hour. Almost, just shy of maybe needing a wind advisory. But it's not pleasant to be outside tonight, especially if you have allergies. So, anyway, have a good night. Enjoy the next couple of dry days. Get outside, and we'll be back with the next weather video for you Tuesday night as we deal with the next weather alert with another low pressure, another big one, big, I don't know what the heck word we can use here, meandering cutoff low as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to bring even more rain for us and quite chilly temperatures too. So if you enjoyed today's warmth, well, it's not going to be like that for a while. Anyway, have a good night.